Are we? Okay.
We are now. We are. We are live. We can hear. Okay, you can see me. Fine. Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Kathy Kariuki, reporting live from SFA. Thank you for joining us today for our blueprint for success crafting a winning business strategy 2025. Welcome again. So, without further ado, I'm going to give a brief introduction to our coach, Mary Shege Kamau, who will be joining us today. She has over 30 years of unparalleled experience across corporate leadership, entrepreneurship, and business coaching. Mary has left her mark on Africa, US, and Europe, delivering sustainable growth and innovative solutions. Having led cross-continental teams, championed change and driven excellence, including a decade of impactful service with a leading global Japanese multinational, where she embraced the principles of Ikigai and Kaizen, a living proof of purpose-driven continuous improvement. So Mary's journey has been one of resilience, vision, and global impact. So from her roots here in Kenya to her rise as a global corporate leader and certified coach, now in the Appalachian Mountains, she embodies the values of perseverance and transformation. So today at the SFA Vision Workshop, she will guide us in reimagining success, prioritizing what truly matters, and building businesses and systems that serve not only our goals, but also our communities. So let's make 2025 the year we lay the foundation for globally competitive African brands. Please join me in giving a warm, resounding SFA welcome to the remarkable, inspiring, and extraordinary Coach Mary.
Thank you so much, Kathy. That is a glorious, glowing introduction, and I'm grateful to be part of this team, especially being the first of the year presenter, and just to be able to help people get on with the business of planning their professional and personal life at the beginning of the year. And as Kathy has said, I'm connecting from the Appalachia region, which is in Tennessee, in a in a city called Johnson City. And believe it or not, it is 2 a.m. in the morning. So when you're an entrepreneur, there's no sleeping. So how did I start this journey of being an entrepreneur myself to be able to come and motivate other entrepreneurs? My journey started over 7 years ago. And as Kathy mentioned, I was working for a multinational Japanese organization where I had been for 10 years. And for those who understand the Asian culture, when you're a certain gender, when you've worked for a certain number of years, there's also a limitation as to the level you can go to. And I reached somewhere and I said, 10 years, what's going to happen in the next 5? Which is what I was giving myself before I exited corporate employment, because I always felt I had a calling to do more. I felt I had a calling to go out there and support others. And after 30 years of being employed, you ask, how do I spend these skills so that I'm able to make other people better out there? And one morning on an April 4th, and this was in 2017, and you would probably wonder, why would I even remember that day? The day is deeply ingrained in my mind because unfortunately, on the 4th of April, something dramatic happened in my life. At the age of 13 years old, I had just closed school. It was the first day of my holiday. And I was home alone because, well, not actually alone. My brother was 2 years old, and he was the only one who was home because my sisters were actually in school and they were also going for their last day of school. But because I had just gone to Form 1 and it was my first day of closing school from Form 1, I was actually at Visaosho Secondary School. At around 10 o'clock, I got news that changed the trajectory of the rest of my life. Unfortunately, on the way to work in the morning, my mother, who used to work in town in a certain bank, unfortunately had a car accident and unfortunately never even made it to hospital that day. And I woke up in the morning, the first day of closing my Form 1 school with a mother, and I closed that day without a mother. And then 2017 comes, and it's the 4th of April. I'm going through those emotions of just remembering because you never forget that day. Every day of that year, it reminds you. And we're in, uh, we walk into work and we get a broadcasted to the whole company, and it's calling for a 1 o'clock emergency meeting. And it had been sent. We were over 1,000 employees, and all 1,000 employees in all the departments were to congregate at 1 o'clock on the 4th of April in 2017. And here we are asking, what might be going on? Nobody's telling us if the branch in Mombasa, if the branch in Kisumu, if the branch in Lodwar, if the branch in Nairobi, they all have to congregate at 1 o'clock. Something major must be there. And then all the heads of departments were dispatched out so that there would be a head of department manager in each of those branches. And we said, wow, something big is going down. And by 2 o'clock, we all knew that the organization had decided to do what usually is done when it's expanded, and it really wants to reorganize, readjust, and say, you know what, we've grown and probably grown a little bit faster than we expected, and we would like to reorganize and we would like to have some people either go become farmers, others become entrepreneurs, others do whatever calling it is that you've been given, but we don't want to send anybody home. We would like volunteers, and we are looking for a target of 100, and you have about a month to make your decision. Are you going to make that decision to be part of that group? And if you do, the organization is going to ensure that within that 1 month, you're given some counseling, you're given some teachings and trainings, how to adjust, how to get out of employment, so that eventually, when you step out of that employment, you've been left firm, ready, and you can face the world. And I said, wow, that's not for me because according to my plan, I have about another 5 years to go. This is a great multinational. And for sure, I wasn't going to make that decision. But I had just completed an entrepreneurship training, which was a year. And I had just finished presenting my business proposal. And we had a business competition. And I said, I have 5 years to put my business together. So I am not exiting. That's not for me. And every day of those 30 days we were given to consider, I kept asking myself, why not? Why not me? What's going to change? You know, as entrepreneurs, we are always waiting for that perfect moment to make a decision. And is there any that perfect moment? Is there? Is there? And on day 30th of the 30 days, I made up my mind. And I said, you know what? I've been employed for so many years. I've made money for so many people. I've counted money with these hands of mine because I used to actually start off as a cashier. So when I started off as a cashier, it was a big supermarket in school. I went to school actually in New Jersey, and all the amount of money that came through my hands, I said, you know what, God, you'll give that to me one day. So let me go help other people also make it so that my wish can also be true. And I exited, I gave in my letter, it was accepted, and had 1 month of notice to serve. I was prepared, I was taken for counseling, I was taken for preparation. And come the June 1st, I am out of a job after 10 years. And I
Wow.
only made that decision in one day. And I'm saying, okay, luckily, my brother had actually been visiting Kenya because he lives in Texas with his family, and he had told me he's coming for a month. So I said, wonderful. I have a whole month of touring Kenya, which is what we did. But I knew that was going to come to an end at some point, which did. And they went back. And it happened that Kenya was going through the elections for the second term of the president, Kenyatta. And we were going to have those elections coming in July. And I said, okay, so we'll have the elections, the president will come, life will go on, and I'll start my business. I have connections. I've been a group marketing manager for so many years. I've had people networked, so it will be easy. I'll just, things will quiet down. And the elections came. We know the results. And after a month, those results were really not results. So every time you try and start something, everybody says, well, we can't do anything. Why? Because let's wait for the elections. Let's wait and see who the next president is. Oh, we've held our budgets. We are not doing any projects. And if you are a marketer, marketing is the first place that gets the chop. Every time there's a budget review, in Japanese, you are told one more time, review one more time. And 5 times you have to keep reviewing, to keep reviewing. And I found myself 1 month, 2 months, and I'm asking myself, okay, this situation doesn't seem to be changing. I don't seem to be getting into my entrepreneurship so fast. So what next? And I'm thinking I'm going out there to do sales and marketing consultancy, all these big things because I'm a fellow with Chartered Institute of Marketing. So I have my plan laid out. It's just 1 more month, 2 months, and all will be well. It will be a smooth path. We have to go back for the re-elections. And this was in October again. Imagine that extension. And when the country is in campaign mode, just like we've come out of in this country, in the US, a lot comes to a standstill. And I'm seated there and I'm saying another 3 months of doing, reminiscing, asking myself, did I, should I, all those years, the school, what will happen? And I had a conversation with one of my friends, and they said, Mary, every time you talk to people and they ask you questions, they listen to you, they end up making some decisions. And there's something about that. And I started exploring, I started doing some research, and I said, oh, now I understand why every time and every position I've been into, I've been the go to person. Whether it's high level, middle level, lower level, I was able to interact. And at that point, I said, wow, that is what is coaching. There is a name to what I've done for free all those years. And imagine people are getting paid at it. And that is how my coaching journey started. So I exited employment to become a sales and marketing consultant, hopefully to build big plans and all. But I ended up sitting down and listening to people. And it's ironic because the reason why I chose to go for my university education in the US was because my grades would allow me to go to Kenyatta University, and I would probably have ended up taking the teaching degree. And no offense about teachers, because I loved them. I went to Loreto Convent, Valley Road. I went to Kianda, and the teachers there were my best friends. But I didn't feel the calling of a teacher then. So I ran away to America not to become a teacher. And ironically, 5 years ago, I came back to America to become a teacher because I know coaching is not teaching, but pretty much sharing information. I call myself a global visionary. I want to build legacies. I want to help people build businesses. I want to help people create and envision the life that they really love. I'm an advocate. I like empowering young professionals. Right now, I do have partnerships with university schools just to prepare those young professionals before they graduate, preparing their resumes, helping them get through interviews, and anything that will help make them competitive in the world out there. And as a result of this, transform lives, empower lives and individuals so that they can start having their own stories to unlock their potential. They can be able to establish what in the Japanese we call ikigai, which means purpose. So, through inspiring trust and connections and ensuring that people's lives and situations and circumstances do not get in the way of them achieving what they need to achieve. So, today's session is a session in style. I know you're used to those business plans where you sit down, you have all those sections of the business plans, and you have to have this section, you have to have this section, you have to have this section, but it's going to be different. Kathy, any comments before I proceed? And maybe I can grasp and get a sip of water, please.
Please
Actually,
do.
it's
Please
hot tea. It's
do.
hot tea because it's
Yeah,
2
it's
a.m.
very cold. Yes, you
2
told us
a.m. in
there's
the
plenty
morning,
of snow. The rest
6
of us are busy
degrees.
enjoying a lot of sunshine and a lot of warmth.
It's 6 degrees Fahrenheit. So let me stay warm in 1 minute.
Okay, no problem. Um,
Thanks. I'm back.
you're back.
Yes.
So I think you'll be starting off taking us through setting the SMART goals, that is achieving
Mhm,
business milestones with clarity. And of course, you'll be now taking us through the vision to action, building the strategic plan that works.
mhm.
I don't know. I think maybe a bit of time management, probably. You can guide us on that. And for everyone, please note this is today's session is part one. We'll be having Mary next week, same time for part two. Still building up on the blueprint for success, crafting a winning business strategy. So if we not will not cover everything today, we'll still cover the rest next week on Thursday. So Mary, take it away.
Thank you so much, Kathy. And I need to know what's our hard stop so that I can make sure that my hard stop clock is ticking.
I guess 10:55 our time.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
So
for
in
that
the next
guidance.
30 or 35 or so minutes to go.
Thank you. Thank you for that guidance.
Okay.
And this stems from my Japanese influence where you do everything just in time. No muda. Muda means wastage. So we do what we need to do at the right time. So here I am, and we are going to start by decide, designing our purpose. And for us to be able to define our purpose, we need to realize what we want to achieve and what are the one or two activities or services would like you would like to do to help you accomplish your purpose. And while we are doing this, we think of what it is that we are doing, whether it's in products, whether it's in services, and how can these products or services create an impact? And who are we when we are doing the best of our work? And why do we do what we do? Whether you are in retail, whether you're in technology, whether you're in hospitality, what is the reason why you do what you do? And I would like us to take 1 minute to just think that through. And we can, Kathy, is there an opportunity to comment? And we can read some comments from people?
Yes, I think we'll
Okay,
just ask them even one or two volunteers to just
mhm,
unmute and tell us something.
thank you. I would like to give us 2 minutes for people to think about our businesses and what is the purpose? What is it that you do and why do you do it? Whether you are in business products or services. And who are you when you are doing your best work? I can give us 2 minutes. And I don't have music. Usually I would put music like Jeopardy to just get us to answer that.
Next
Who
time.
are we? Thank you. What do we do to achieve our purpose? And what are the one or two activities or business services that we do or to help us achieve our purpose? And how are we doing this? Who are we when we are doing this? And while we are doing this, we can reflect on our passions, our skills, our organizational needs, and the community need, the people that you are serving. What is it that why are you serving them? What are their needs? Because we don't just wake up and go out and do a business because we do it because it's going to have customers. We do it because there's going to be a demand. So reflect on the things that you do well as you do this. Two minutes. Do you have any answers? Any feedback?
We are the ones in the sun. We should be answering very quickly.
I'm telling you. Any takers out there?
Um, very sorry, but since we are live, there is no way that someone can ask
Okay.
questions, but there will be comments from the other pages, so we can
Okay.
just carry on for now.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so let's review what we've said. And when you're doing this, you're reflecting on what you like to do and staying focused on doing it, ensuring that there are no distractions, and we explore all opportunities so that we are able to bring solid and tangible success when we do what we love to do. And I'll take us again to an imaginary journey. And we are going to ask ourselves an empowering question. If I was to do anything in this world, what would I love to do? What would I love to be? That's part of helping us create our purpose. Imagine there are no obstacles. You have life as you would love it to be. Release any notions of having any obstacles that anything cannot happen. You have everything that you require to make this dream come true. And this is your life. You're dreaming it as a business person, entrepreneur, whatever vocation or career you are in. You have this creative energy. You're investing in yourself. You've invested yourself up to this time. And you're writing your vision. You're writing down what it is that will be your blueprint for your life. And here we are describing each day of our lives so that we can say, if you were to account for your day from morning to evening, how would that day look? When you wake up, from the time you wake up to the time you go back and put that head down, and we've been busy bees that whole day, what have we been doing that day? and what we've done that day. What are the results? What can we show for? And it's going to make sure that it's left us feeling fulfilled and proud of our work. And this is going to help us draft a purpose so that we can refine and do our vision. And for us to do our vision, we have to imagine it. It's your life. Put it ahead of you, and somebody, you are looking at it. You're looking at it and you're asking yourself, why am I here? And does this vision or dream give meaning? Does the dream does the dream give me life? Does it make me want to wake up tomorrow? Does it make me curious? Do I want to find out what next? Does this dream align to my core values? Because we are taught as we grow up that values are important, and whatever we do, we must be guided by our values. Does this dream cause me to grow? Do I need help from a higher power? And the higher power here will be the Almighty. Different people call him by a different name, but you know it's not your doing. You're here because there's a bigger force that has helped you. The destination has been aligned because the Almighty has made it happen for you. And when you're doing what you're doing, is that dream good for others? Is there good for others? What is it that you are going to be doing? And is it going to be helping others? So this is a checklist. Is my dream right for me? And I'm going to go through those things again. Does my dream give me life? Does it make me want to feel like I want to wake up in the morning? Does my dream align with my core values? The things that I was taught they're important when I was growing up. Every time you are corrected, every time you are given information, every time you are, you know, prepared for the world, what core values are you presenting out there with your dream? Is this dream expansive? Does it make you grow? Does it make you grow? Do you need help from a higher power? Because if you think you can do it by yourself, then probably it's not right. Because it's not by your doing, it's by His might. And is there good in your dream for others? That's your checklist. So when you vision that, you find out whether that is. And something that also guides us is archetypes. And archetypes, when we look at what they are, they're actually symbolic symbols that used to be used to just model out character, model out behaviors, and universally, they are symbolic ways that we describe people's archetypes. And you can either be a hero, you can be a caregiver, you can be a visionary, you can be a warrior, you can be an advocate. And these archetypes are the ones that actually direct us and guide us. Which area are you focused on? So if you are a warrior, meaning that you have a symbol of resilience and determination and often overcoming adversity, some of the things you want to do, you're probably out there appearing or powerful. If you're a caregiver, your focus is on nurturing, helping, and protecting others. And you'll find most of these people will either become nurses, they'll become caregivers, or if you open up your business, that's the business you're inclined to do. Why? Because you're focused as a caregiver. And are you an advocate? Meaning, are you focused on justice? Are you focused on purpose? Are you focused on empowering others, the greater good? Then that archetype leads you to the direction of either lawyers, judges. Sometimes we are called militant when you stand out for what is true out there, people's rights, human rights activists, all those. So those are some of the things we consider when we are doing our purpose. What archetype am I? And for those who are lovers of ChatGPT, if you just Google ChatGPT and get archetypes out, and archetypes is a arc, just like the arc, and the types. If you Google that, you will find out what archetype are you? Where do you fit in? And are you doing what you need to be doing as per your archetype? Are you guided by that? It doesn't mean you need to be restricted by it, but are you guided by that? So, our next step is our vision now. We are now looking at our vision. When we see ourselves and our businesses guided by those archetypes, by the purpose which that we want to do, what is it that you see when you envision what you're creating in terms of your business? Are you dedicating time to your highest values of what's important in your business? When you wake up in the morning and go to your business in the morning, how much time are you spending in the 20% that matters? Or are you spending it in the 80% that usually doesn't bring you income? What are you doing from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed? What kind of people do you have in your life? Are they supporting you? Do they support your dreams? Where are you as far as those things are concerned? How is your environment? Are you thriving? Are you content with what's going on? Do you feel inspired? So when you put all the puzzles together for this vision, how are you? How are you feeling? Do you feel like it's that vision? If you look at it, it's empowering you. It's that vision empowering you. And I'm going to do a dream time machine again. And in this case now, we are looking at our business, and it's 3 years from now. And for those who think 3 years is too far way out, let's do 2 years, because we have to do long-term planning, because it's what you are planning for then that will start coming out now, as opposed to waiting for things to happen to you. You make sure that things are happening because of you, not the things happening to you. So we'll do another exercise, and this exercise is called the dream machine. And we've entered Star Trek kind of cabin. We've gone round and round and round, and it's 2028, and you are getting out of your time machine. And you've met people who you haven't seen for a long time. You've met people who are in this vision planning strategy workshop with you. You've gone through your purpose, you've gone through your checklist, whether your dream matters, whether it's adding value, are you working through your core values, you're getting all the help from the Almighty, and you've come out of that dream machine. And it's 2027 for those who require 2 years, and it's 2028 for those who are good with 3 years. And it's all worked out. Your business is thriving. You came out from either growing, scaling, improving and increasing your teams. Your financial numbers are where they want to be and where they need to be. And in the last 3 years or 2 years, you've been pursuing activities that have been in line with your purpose, and you're living your dream life now. And I would like us to start the following statement. I am so thankful and grateful that my business has achieved, and we can complete that. What is it that you're going to be so thankful and grateful that in 2027 or in 2028, your business has achieved? In terms of your operation efficiencies, in terms of your customer numbers, in terms of your team growing, whether the numbers, in terms of the impact in the market, whether it's customer service surveys, getting the best testimonials, just getting back what you need to get, What is the impact that you're doing out there in the market? And you're feeling proud about it. And you're also having what we call a work life. I used to call it balance, but not anymore. Somebody told me there's no balance, it's harmony. Because it's not possible to balance work and life, but you create harmony between the two. You create harmony between the two. And as we do that exercise of time machine, where you've now come out 3 years and you visualized your business, and you're now seeing all the pieces of the puzzle fitting in, your dreams are coming true. You're living where you want to live. You're connecting with who you want to connect. You have all the customers that you need to be connecting with, and you're inspired, contributing and giving what you give. And you will write a letter to your future self of how your life is now, how you're feeling. You've achieved, you've gotten there, and you're writing this letter to your future self now. And we are looking at our wheel of life. We come back now to reality. We've come out of the time machine. We've already visualized what is it that we need then. We are seeing what's working, we've seen what's not working, and we've known what we want. And it's 2028 and you've achieved it. And there were no obstacles. If they were there, we are bigger and greater than those. We all have stories, but we are not our stories. We have situations, but we are not our situation. We have circumstances, but we are not our circumstance. And those things should never get in your way of achieving what you need to achieve. So let's look at our wheel of life. And our wheel of life encompasses several areas. We have our businesses, or some of us careers, because not everybody is, or some of us have businesses and career at the same time. So it's important to even create harmony there. We have our families, relationships, our friends. We have fitness and health goals, nutrition. We want to eat right, because if we don't eat right now, we are told if you don't eat your vegetables now, later on in your life, you'll eat vegetables like your medicine. So you eat vegetables now like medicine, so that later in life we don't eat medicine like vegetables. So what are those goals that we are setting for ourselves? In terms of recreation, in terms of visiting and doing the things that you want to do in the world, what are you doing? Because, without that, you're also just working and you're not fulfilled. So, how do you ensure that you're also fulfilled in that part of life? In terms of investments, in terms of just doing what you want to do, how do you create that balance? And as you do this, you reflect through every day. At the end of the day, you start with your roses for that day. What are the buds and the thorns that you've gone through? And roses is something that is positive, that has happened, or you're planning for it to happen that day. Thorns are things that have happened to you and you would wish they never happened. They are a challenge and it's something that you needed help with and you've learned from it. And then our birds are what we are looking forward to in the future. So every day you are doing a roses, birds, and thorns reflection. What are your roses? The rose is the beautiful part of the rose. When you look at it, at the flower, it's positive, it's blooming, it makes the world beautiful. The thorns, roses are not roses without thorns. These are the things that come to us in life and they're challenging. What are some of those things we need help with? So, on a day to day basis, for your business, for your personal life, what are those roses that you have to deal with? What are those thorns that you'd rather deal without? And what are those birds that are budding out there, ready to open up to the next rose? Your hope, your trust, your future, something you're looking forward to. What is it for your business, for your personal life? What are your roses? What are your buds? What are your thorns on a daily basis? How do you do a reflection of those with your team, with your family members? Some of us, and when you have families and they spend the whole day away from you, they come in the evening and somebody wants to discuss their thorns. Do we have time for that? Sometimes they want to discuss their roses and their buds. Do we also encourage that? Because this is part of creating the work life harmony. So, how do we even allow the relationships in our lives to discuss our roses, our thorns, and our buds? So, that is part of planning. So, I told everybody today we are having a business strategy planning in style. And this is infusion of all the various cultures that have been part of who I am. I have a little bit of Japanese, a little bit of American, a lot of bit of Kenyan and African, and every other part that has influenced my life up to today. So as we continue with our business planning, there's a model that I would like us to put together, and this helps us to now structure our plan. And this is borrowed from my Chartered Institute of Marketing framework, and it's called the SOSTAC model. And SOSTAC is SOSTAC. And I hope I reminded people at the beginning that you'll need to take a little bit of notes or even use your phone to just dictate some of these things. And this model is a planning model, and it was originally developed in the 1990s with the help of the marketing planning by P.R. Smith. And if you Google P.R. Smith, you'll see the SOSTAC model. And this SOSTAC model has really worked well in terms of planning, short-term planning, long-term planning. If you're in situations where you're put under a microscope or you need to just answer quickly about what is your next plan, and you use the SOSTAC model, you will have a game plan blueprint within 5 minutes. Now, what is the S in the SOSTAC? The first S is, where are you now? So here we are doing our business analysis. Where is our business now? So that we can get to that 2028, 2027, we must know where we are now. What is our benchmark? Where are we in terms of our financials, in terms of our operationals, in terms of our teams, in terms of customer service, in terms of sales and marketing? Where are we in terms of business development, our systems, our processes, in terms of structures, so that even if you're going to start creating profits, you have all the necessary statutory requirements to. Where are we now? That's the first S. And SOSTAC, we usually write it going down. So it's SOSTAC, going down. Situation analysis. Where are we now? The next one is an O. And O is objective. Where do you want to be? We've just come out of that time machine. It's 2028, it's 2027. Where did you find yourself? You've just written a letter to your future self. If you open that letter 3 years from now, 2 years from now, what is that letter to your future self going to be saying about your business, your systems, your processes, your family, your friends, all the areas in your life, your nutrition, your health, your mental capabilities? What is this going to be 3 years from now? What is that future self letter going to be saying? Where do you want to be? And then the next S is strategy. How do we get there? For us to get to our time machine 2028, 2027, how are we going to get there? That is the next S. And the next one is a T, and that stands for how exactly do we do it? It's tactics. And for those of us who know what tactics are, it's the means and ways. We call them 5 W's. And these 5 W's are, what is it that we need to do? Why do we need to do it? Where do we need to do it? Who do we need to do it with? And when do we need to do it? Those are your 5 W's. What, where, who, and why. What are your 5 W's as you plan out your tactics? What are your 5 W's? And then we have the big one. Planning is great. You can have all the things you want. You can have all the blueprints stacked in all your libraries. But if we don't take action on this blueprint, what happens to them? They remain nothing but a library. And unfortunately, we understand that is what Kenya did very well in the 60s and the 70s. We had a lot of planning, we had a lot of blueprints, and a lot of other countries came and benefited from them because they would Google and find out, oh, this has been done in Kenya and it was one of the best plans that was done. But was it ever actualized? No, it wasn't. So all our plans without action are just there. There's nothing we can do with them if we don't action them. So the A in the source stack is action. What are our plans? What do we need to do so that we can action them out there and make sure that we're just not planning, we are executing. So the actioning is going together with the executing. And this is how we are putting together our business plan. Then the next one is controls and measures. If we do all this planning and we don't do controls and measures, how do we know we've achieved our business plan? How do we know our financials are where they need to be? How do we know all our goals have been achieved? We have to consider our competition. How do we know that we are doing what we want to do and we are even outdoing them? Are there any threats of new products in the market? Do you have a bargaining power in your line of business? Are there threats taking your customers away? Are there substitute products out there? So all these things you have to look out, and what are the controls and measures that you're going to put together in your business so that you are able to have a thriving business? Who are your primary customers? Do you even know why they come to you? Why is it that they should come and buy from you and not from the next door person? And what is it that's unique about you? What is it that you are doing that others are not doing? So now you have a model with your current business situation and you're 3 years or 2 years from now. So how is that path going to go? Those are the things that we are now putting together for execution. And those things, we'll plan them for 3 years, then break them into annual achievable goals. And whether you're planning for your financials in terms of your business, whether you're planning for the additional areas of health and well-being, and in health and well-being, we are looking at our nutrition, our physical health, exercises, fitness, mental health, emotion, spiritual wellness. Where are we and where do we want to go? When it comes to relationships, family, friends, societal contribution and goals, where are we? Where do we want to go? In terms of time freedom and money, in terms of our financial health, whether it's investments, recreation, so that you're able to even enjoy that money that you're earning. Where are we and where do we need to go about that? And now, how do we break those whole goals into simpler goals so that now you've come from annual planning to quarter? So, what are your quarterly goals, which are very specific now? You're breaking and saying, by this day, I want to have grown my market share to this. By this day, I want to have achieved, by this quarter, I want to have achieved this number of customers. In terms of reducing shrinkage, if you're in the business of retail, by this period, this is what my financials need to be. So, where exactly are you as far as those numbers are concerned? That is your planning. And these quarterly goals now get broken into monthly. And these monthly goals then get broken to our daily. What is it that you do every day? and how are you achieving it, and how are you against what it is that you've planned to achieve. How are you progressing against plan? So we always have a budget and we always have actual. So how are you showing up in terms of your plan? So some of the statements and things that we do as we plan, and a Japanese expression which embraces imperfection is wabi sabi. And this is where we acknowledge our mistakes, we learn from them, and move forward. So, by embracing imperfection, you build trust and create open and honest environments with your team, with your family, with anybody that's a stakeholder in your business or vocation or areas of interaction. So, wabi sabi means we embrace imperfection, and that's why we have roses, we have buds, and we have thorns. And then we've already done our ikigai, which is our passion. That is what we started with. Reflecting on your passions, skills, and your organization's intersecting. Where are they? And what brings both, what lights you up? The more you do the work, the more you feel light up, the more you feel significant, fulfilled, and energized to give the world. And then there's Kaizen, and Kaizen means continuous improvements. Everything that you've done today and you do tomorrow, how do you make sure that you set small, achievable goals every week, every day, and improve on specific skills and processes so that what you do today, if you repeat it tomorrow, it's going to be better. Focus on that 1% improvement that at the end of the year is going to be X, X, it will be XXS how many times? Just 1% of improvement every day. If you feel you didn't do this right today and you do it tomorrow with an improvement, what is the result that you're going to get? So that's one of the things that you can be able to look at. And with that, we come to the end of our presentation. I have gone 3 minutes beyond my stop time. Kathy, I hope that is in order. And I would like to stop there for a minute and you can let me know what we do next, even as probably I share if anybody wanted to have a further conversation on all these processes, the systems, how they would be able to get me.
Wow. I am at the letter to my future self.
Letter to your future self, out of your time machine.
Out of my time machine.
Yes, it's all worked out and there are no obstacles. The roses, the buds, and the thorns are all yours.
Thank you. Very inspiring. I like the exercise. I hope the participants stroke attendees also started jotting something down, because I hope in session 2, a few people will be able to share something, one or two things. Thank you very much,
You're,
Mary. I really enjoyed the session.
you're most welcome. And I bet you people are expecting to come out with all these big papers and processes and systems and all that. I wonder what we thought when we had business planning strategy. What were our expectations and what has come out of this? I would be curious. I would be curious to hear that. Does the website allow us to have interactions there to give feedback about the session and expectations and what we thought and what our learnings?
I can't see either, so I
Okay.
assume the people at the back end will tell us.
Okay.
We'll capture that when we come in our part 2. But all
Okay.
in all,
Hmm.
it has been very insightful.
Thank
We
you.
have learned a lot.
Hmm.
I think it took us very gradually. It was like taking a walk in one of our forests. Let's put it that way.
That's my
Thank you.
African influence. That's the
Thank
African
you.
influence in me. Thank you. You're welcome. Well, that's the end. And I truly know that people had things to do, but you found the day important, and just to listen to me for this 1 hour, I really appreciate. And you can check me on my website on coachconsultexperts.com. And if there's a place where you can share that, Kathy, you're more than welcome to do that. And just get a little bit of this. If anybody is able to get to that website and book a discovery or what we call a clarity session, I have a few openings there. 30-minute sessions. If you want to go through any of what you've done for your business, your career, I have a few openings and they're limited. First come, first served, and they're 30 minutes. You'd book a Zoom call and we can explore this. And that is courtesy of you listening to us, courtesy of coming on board. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mary.
You are
Thank you
welcome.
all of you for being with us today. And as we said, at SFA, we help business owners connect with mentors, money, and markets. In my role in Founders Passion Academy, I support our licensed training coaching programs where we provide the tools and support entrepreneurs to reach their full potential. Would like you to join us, so kindly skip over to our page and connect with us and get to see how we can assist you reach your full potential. I look forward to seeing you next week for our part 2, and kindly tell a friend as we start out 2025. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day. Goodbye.
Thank you.